All right, welcome to the Grumpy Old Gamer podcast. I am your host, Ian, and this week is a little different. So last week we didn't have Tim because he got fired, but
I did.
everyone threw a huge fit, and he is back. And Retribution, Al, has been defeated, and we have absorbed his essence and become stronger. So this week, I'm joined by Tim.
Hello. I am no longer fired. Al, on the other hand, we will talk about that.
And I'm also joined by Lucas.
Hello, I'm back again. I don't know if I'm replacing Al now, but I used to replace Tim. Hello, Tim. I was your replacement.
Oh, it was weird. It was like I was in the middle of nowhere for no good reason, apparently.
All right, so this week we're going to talk about comfort gaming, and that can mean a couple different things. But what I want to talk about is the familiar games. You know, the games that you go back to, where if you don't know what else to play, or if you're just maybe having a bad day, or it's just like it's been a while since I played this game. You know, it's time to dust it off. Those are the types of games I want to talk about. I want to talk about starting off with. I think a good series is Fallout. I think there's a lot of options. You can do the tactical turn, grid-based ones with the original ones. You got the first-person ones with the Bethesda ones. But I think with the replayability of Fallout, you know, there's just so many different ways you can do it. You can be melee, you can be pistols, you can be energy, you can be all these different builds. You can be just charisma, you can be good, you can be bad. And I think those are the types of games that really stand the test of time. Games that, you know, really have that variety and that kind of that spice. But Lucas, what the other games do you think kind of fit that niche?
I'm going to answer that question, but first I want to put you in the ropes, asking you which Fallout you are referring to. So the people and the fans, yes, and the fans are going to take this really, really strong. So
I gotta say 4. I gotta say I like Fallout 4. I know it's the wrong answer, but I'm sticking with it.
No, it's not the wrong answer. You didn't say 76, so it's not the wrong answer at all.
I would say New Vegas if I had to choose a Fallout, but 4 is a really good game too. In my game, for like you said, a game you go back to a shelter, something you can feel comfortable and just sit and relax and forget about the world and everything. I probably would say The Sims 4 to be precise. I know it's a DLC, a black hole, but it's a lovely game to play.
It is a black hole. But I mean, does it have that replayability, you think? Does it have where like you can play it completely different as different runs as you play?
Yes, and I do something that is I think is the best way to play it because The Sims is easy to play. You don't have to think much, but I like to add some difficulty by taking all my money and put it down to zero and start
Mhm.
from nothing. I don't have a house, I don't have a job, I don't have nothing. Like kind of real life.
I do want to talk about those challenge runs here in a little bit, but before we get to that, Tim, I want to hear what's your
Yeah,
go-to games?
I'm gonna be that guy. But my kind of go-to game that I haven't really thought about it in all honesty, but it's a mobile game called Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and I don't know why. Doesn't even matter how hard I try. Keep that in mind. But it is. I always go back and play that damn game because it's the closest thing to like a Star Wars RPG that we have had in years since KOTOR kind of era type thing. And I will just comfortably just go back and just play the damn thing, you know? It's like it's got all the Star Wars characters, it's an RPG, and it's like what more can I ask for? And then they released a computer client for it as well, and it's like, oh no, now I have no excuse.
So, what is it about that series that brings you back? Is it the quality of it, just because it's the best at what it does, or is it you think more of just kind of the familiarity where you know what to expect?
I know what to expect. That's exactly. I want my Star Wars. I want to play an RPG. It's that kind of like warming feeling, and it's like done. You know, that's exactly what I want.
Because everything's familiar and you know how to operate, and you don't have to learn new systems.
No, that's it. It's comfy. It's cozy. You know.
Now, a lot of people think that when they hear cozy games, they think of like the very low conflict, low stress games like Stardew Valley, for example. Um,
That's a good one.
but I think that it doesn't necessarily have to be a low stress, enemy free game where there's, no punishments for failure. But I think that those do make damn good comfort games. And one example I want to talk about besides Stardew Valley is Powerwash Simulator. In Powerwash Simulator, which is they have 2 of them out now. It's so successful, they made a sequel, and you're just a power wash guy, and you have, like, a dirty ass truck or car or house or whatever, and you spray it off, and there's some parts that are harder to spray than others, but it's just very soothing and very relaxing, something very zen about that, I think, and that's to me, that's why I keep coming back to, the calm, peaceful games like that. Lucas, would you say The Sims kinda falls under that too?
The Sims is not a simulator, well, in my opinion, of course, right? But I understand the simulator vibe. For example, Car Mechanic, Farming Simulator, Euro Truck Simulator, American Simulator. I love those games.
Well, I was gonna say, like, another one, like, thinking of it that I actually wasn't thinking before, like, we're gonna do this, but Subnautica.
Oh,
Subnautica's
yeah.
there's something super relaxing, even though like the whole game in itself is trying to kill you, but like it's underwater and you're building a base, and there's something super relaxing about it. You know what I mean?
And it's funny that you mentioned that. I think a game that's very similar to that is Valheim, in which when they're
Mm.
chill, they're very chill, but when they're stressful, holy shit. You can be throwing your controller sometimes, but very beautiful games, very, zen-like, and there's something about just kinda building a nice base in a scenic environment and just sitting back and taking the fruits of your labor, and just there's something very soothing about that. Subnautica and Valheim, I think, do it really well.
Going back to the games I mentioned, Farming Simulator, for example, it's you think it's boring, but play it with friends and let me know what you think about that when your friend runs with a tractor into the field and ruins everything you just made. Or Euro Truck when your friend crash into you and break your truck and you are just standing there paying money and you end up with the worst profit ever.
I have played people like that. I was gonna say another example of like comfy and kind of like cozy games. One that has really stuck out for me, Manor Lords. That game can get horrendously brutal, but at the same time, it's lovely. It's so aesthetically pleasing, and when you get everything nailed right, it's like, oh, sit back, relax, and then probably fall asleep on your chair, you know?
It's that game is made by one person also, right?
It was, yeah, it was made by one person. Incredible. Incredible when you think about it.
Another cozy type of comfort gaming is, the nostalgic ones. I think there's something about, the old Nintendo games like Super Mario, Zelda. As soon as you hear that familiar music of Super Mario Brothers, you become a little kid again.
Do 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 do. Boink.
That's the one. It's reverted everyone back to their childhoods a little bit. But what are the other nostalgic games that stand out for you?
For me, speaking of music, GTA San Andreas. Remember just going around with the Sanchez, the bike, and listening to Hold the Line or Guns N' Roses
Ah,
and classic music,
yeah.
K Dust, K Rose, and just going around the map, listen music, and maybe get shot by the balas sometimes. But pretty good game, nostalgic.
One I haven't actually thought about for a long time, Ian. Pokemon Stadium. That's a nostalgic one I have not played for a long time, but like thinking about it, it's nothing but like good memories. Or Pokemon Snap. Like anything Pokemon related is just kind of like nice and like nostalgic, you know?
Taking you, Tim, again, you mentioned Manor Lords, and speaking of nostalgia and that genre of games, what about Operation Genesis? Jurassic Park Operation Genesis.
Stop it. I have not thought about that game for about 20 years, but yes. Yeah, no, that was fantastic. And considering it was console only, wasn't it? So I remember like around about the time that came out, I actually got my first like proper PC. So I was a young bug, but I was like, I really just want to play this on the computer. You know, it would have made sense. You know.
And yes, because it's a city building. I mean, you build a park, but it's more computer orientated if you think about it.
And I remember like certain points in that game where I was just like, I'm just gonna see what like the T-Rex is doing for some reason, you know what I mean?
I was a little bit more brutal, more like, let's see what happened if I take out this fence, and let's see what happened with the people and the T-Rex going around. But yes, you can experiment like that. It was a pretty good game.
So I'm a little unfamiliar with this game. Can you guys explain the gameplay mechanics to me?
Literally you just build Jurassic Park. You don't want all the like big stuff to like go out, escape and kill people. But
Mhm.
kind of like The Sims, you could make a big area with all the most dangerous like dinosaurs type thing, and then get rid of the gates. Get rid of the gates and then see what happens. It's like building a swimming pool in The Sims and then getting rid of like so they can't crawl out type thing. It's like, ooh, I wonder what's gonna happen. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's
Doing it for the plot.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know, Ian, if you know these games. There's pretty new games. It's called Jurassic World Evolution. And there are city buildings. Well, it's the same idea, but better, because that was the original city building for Jurassic Park. And it was amazing. Because the new ones are just better in graphics. Because the old one has so many things to do and complex economy and things that it's amazing.
Sounds like it's basically the same with a shinier coat of paint.
Yes, they added better graphics, the same gameplay, more areas to explore, but the idea is the same. The only thing I noticed new is in the third game now that you can have baby dinosaurs going around. That's new.
Haven't played the latest one. I do own it because it's just one of those games like I'll probably play it at some point. But yeah, Jurassic World Evolution, the first one at least, I did play that, and yeah, Lucas, you're completely right. Like, it gave me that kind of same vibes. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, this is. I say, oh, look at all these lovely dinosaurs. Look at that. Oh, they're all so carnivorous. Wouldn't it be a shame if they just went awry?
Either that, or what happened if I left the cage open and make a Triceratops fight a T-Rex? Just because
Yeah.
why not?
So, would you guys enjoy the new games as much if you hadn't played the original ones?
Yeah, no, I think I would because I love like those kind of like building and kind of like strategy kind of games. I love the aesthetics, so yes, even if I hadn't played the originals, aesthetically, yes, I probably still would enjoy them. You know?
For me, it will be. This is going to be a rash comment, but it will be better the new ones if I didn't play the old one. Because, like I said before, the old one was better and is better right now. I prefer it, but the graphics are old and it's really difficult to run in a new PC these days because all the resolution and things.
I'd agree because I think they're made for consoles. But then, ironically, what we were talking about, that game was made for consoles only. So then you play one on your computer, and it's like, well, this feels doesn't feel right. Uh, but in the grand scheme of things, the one that we're talking about, which is the like nostalgia boner, essentially, was made for consoles only, which is kind of hypocritical.
I'm going to do a research quick and go back to the time when this game launched. It was 2003. This
Yep.
is an old one. This is an old one, and it's still a really good game. It was PlayStation 2 and Xbox, the original. And at the same time, what I'm going with this is you have Dr. Grant talking to you, making you go and find amber and DNA in other countries with the helicopter. And it was so deep in terms of content back in the day. Then the new ones look lazy because they have the DLCs and everything. You used to have all that in one game.
But what is it about the game that makes it a comfort game? Makes it something where you want to keep coming back to it? Is it the quality? Is it the familiarity? Is it just nostalgia? I know some games are fun just to see how many times you can beat it because there's multiple, endings. I can think of the Dragon Age series back in the day. That was one that you would play it, but you can't play it just once. You have to play it, multiple times to see all the different playthroughs and the different
Mm.
endings. They did something kind of similar with that with Mass Effect, but they kind of fell off hard after that. But what are games that to you guys would just love to beat? You love to see that game over screen after defeating the final boss.
The first question was why I want to go back to Operation Genesis, and depends on the game. Some games are it's a percentage of things. Some games are more nostalgia than other things, but some games are actually pretty good. It's more than just oh, I remember when I was a kid playing the game. It's more like that game was amazing. I want to play it again. And in this case, it's that for me because I love it. It's just relaxing, chill, and a good place to just put your hands up, put music maybe in the background, and enjoy.
I think that's a very good answer as well because I agree on like that sentiment. For me, when you get to that kind of comfy, cozy, it's like a game that you could like maybe if you've necessarily beaten it, you can then repeat it. You can then repeat it and then you could do something slightly different. And it's like like it's the not endless loop, but the idea of like something's changed, something's different, you know? And it's like, let's just do that because you can.
Here comes my favorite game. It doesn't have different endings. It's always the same. But Spark the Stick of Truth. That's my favorite game ever. I have so many hours in that game, and I played it with all the characters, classes, 3 or 5 times each. So I know the game from the start to the end, and I always love to see the ending boss fight. It's Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, Skyrim in a turn-based game with South Park in the background. You're basically watching an episode with the insults, with the references, everything. It's just a South Park episode from the beginning to the end. You are the new kid in town, and you meet Carmen, you meet Stan, Kyle, Kenny, Butters, everyone in the series, and it's just amazing. It's an adventure. You sit down, watch the TV, and just play it. That's it. I mean, you can watch an episode, but episodes are what, 25 minutes only? The gameplay in this is about hours. And you can always choose a different class. There's 4 classes. I'm not going to say the names. You should find yourself if you want to see which classes you can choose. But yeah, that's basically it. You just play the game and enjoy the background music of epic adventure in the South Park world.
It's great sitting down and watching an episode of South Park. Like, generally, 99.9% of the time, they're hilarious. With Stick of Truth, it's your episode. That, I think, is the feeling, you know what I mean?
So a bit of ownership.
It's not ownership. It's more like the experience of being able to be in the episode and make. You don't make decisions because it's not a decision game, but you interact with the characters and you talk with them and you have to make friends. It has so many mechanics that works well, and it's all a reference to South Park. The basic game is you unlock perks and abilities by making friends on Facebook quotations because it's not Facebook, but it's the same interface. It's a reference to an episode, and that's the beauty. It's made with love, and also it's made by Obsidian.
It is made by Obsidian.
Yes, and Ubisoft.
We'll ignore that part. Fuck Ubisoft.
For those who aren't aware, what other games that they've produced besides the Stick of Truth?
Well, we mentioned the one before. I mentioned it. It was Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
There it is.
There's Outer Worlds as well. They did that. In fact, they've actually done quite a lot. Like Obsidian's not a small company. They just I don't think they get the recognition that they deserve, unfortunately. But then again, they have been kind of falling off because I think didn't they do Avowed recently? And I'm not going to lie, that was a steaming pile of horse manure, put it bluntly.
I mean, they have put out some bangers, though. That's for sure.
They have. Yeah. They also, for me, they did KOTOR 2. They did KOTOR 2. That was Obsidian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's another game where there's a lot of ability, which I think really adds to you know, the reason why we go back and replay it, just because there's different options. There's ways to do it that we hadn't seen before. There's non-serious ways to do it. There's ways that we would never do it because it's evil, and we don't want to be evil.
No, we do. No, we do.
Sometimes in video games, it's fun. Yeah.
Yes. It's always fun to be the bad guy.
Yes, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they made Grounded, right?
I believe so.
I'm pretty sure they did. And Grounded 1 and 2, those are really good survival games and they're pretty fun. And I like the idea. It's just kids in a backyard. Like it's imagination. It's like when you used to be a kid and what if I'm fighting ants in the backyard of my grandmother house, for example.
Grounded is a good example, I think, of a survival game that becomes very cozy. Like we talked about Valheim earlier, but I think Grounded has a very unique art style. And for those who don't know, Grounded is where it's like you're an 80s teenager and you're shrunk down in the backyard of this mad scientist and you have to go around and fight all these bugs and you have to upgrade your gear and build bases and it's a lot of fun and I highly recommend that everybody check it out. They're working on the second one now. It's in early access.
Oh, they really?
Oh yeah, you can play right now if you want. You can write bugs on it.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a second one. Not gonna lie, mate.
A quick warning for all the people who listen to this. That game has insects and they are big. So if you're afraid of, I don't know, spiders, ants, or any type of insect, avoid the game because it gets really scary if you're one of those persons.
Ooh, life.
They have arachnophobia mode where it makes the giant spiders just look like I don't know weird block things or something. Makes them less scary. But to me, there's something just satisfying about having. I know I talked about this a little bit earlier, but just having built a base and being able to kind of kick back and see, all of my storage and my crafting room and all of these my trophies and everything. Something very zen like to me. And any game that allows me to do that, I'm going to keep coming back to it time and time again.
Anything like that, like when you can put your own like kind of like feeling and personality into it, there's a sense of, hey, I did that. You know what I mean? I did that. You know?
Following that thread of survival games, I have one to mention, and it's a question for you, Ian. What do you think about
Mhm.
Minecraft?
I think that's a great example of a comfort game. I know that I'm guilty of firing up Minecraft and going back for another build or another world. I've lost count how many times I've done that. Um, and I think it's kind of like what we were saying before, just with I think it's kind of like what we were saying before, just with the nostalgia and just the familiarity of the gameplay and just when the music hits, it's just you're back in the zone and you're crafting and you're mining.
I think it's a really good game for escaping. It's one of those relaxing gameplay things that you can fight the mobs or you can just deactivate them and just construct things and build beautiful farms. But at the same time, the difficulty on the game is not that high, and you can enjoy the combat, and it's simple. And we are forgetting the most important part of Minecraft, the mods. You can be anything in that game. You can add electricity. You can add complex systems. You can add
Mhm.
dragons, small dragons, and medieval stuff, and you can make a complete different game.
I think Minecraft has really captured a lot of, I guess, repeat players just from constantly adding new stuff over the years, constantly kind of reinventing itself a little bit, adding new features, always new mods coming out, which I think really adds to the replayability of it. Makes that one probably one of the top comfort games of all time. I mean, for being honest.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree, and like also like the generated worlds and everything that goes along with that. It's like it's random essentially every time. You may as well be rolling a dice, like some RNG type thing. But because of that, it's different every time. I need to start playing Minecraft again. Thanks for that.
I know it's going to convert at least one person.
We surely can make a beautiful world together because that's another aspect of the game. It has co-op, and that's the beauty
Mhm.
part because you can play alone and it's a beautiful game, and you can play with friends and it's going to be an awful game because your friends are going to start stealing things, killing you, but at the same time, it's fun.
I remember years ago, and I really am talking years ago, like when it first came out type thing. We had a server, and basically one of our mates, like he pissed us off a little bit. So we blocked up his house entirely, and then just made a whole Nyan Cat for some reason outside of his house to block him inside to the house. And then he was like, guys, what have you done? We're like, nah, we're going to bed. Bye-bye.
You are a terrorist, sir.
Something like that, mate.
I don't want to play with you now.
Cruel and unusual punishment, sir.
That's the best way to do it, mate.
Let's go back to the games we think is a shelter, a place that you can just be comfortable at and play the game and forget about everything. I'm going to invite you, Tim, to tell me another game you think it's that fit that description.
This has been a long time coming, but like it's just always one of those games. Have you ever played Stronghold? Like the castle building?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Oh yeah. Oh, mate,
You-
I'd highly recommend it.
What's it about?
Yeah. You build a castle. That's about it. And then you kill people who are trying to get into your castle. But I find myself like essentially building the castle more first for aesthetic reasons than I do like, oh, I'm going to kill the shit out of that bugger. Like, it's like, okay, you come here to my lovely, lovely castle. Die, 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 die. But there's something like cathartic about it, and it feels cozy. It feels like it's like an open fire, and it's nice and warm, and it's like, but it's my castle, my castle.
I don't know what kind of experience you got in that game, but what I remember of Stronghold, I'm talking about the second one and the third one, and also the first one. It was chaotic when you don't know how to play it because the AI. Let me cut you in, Ian. This game is an old classic RTS, kind of Age of Empires vibe, kind of. So you build your castle, you defend the castle, and you get attacked by everyone. So it's not that relaxing, but at the same time, like Tim said, the aesthetics of it, beautiful game, beautiful game.
I think that stressful games can be strangely relaxing sometimes.
Mm.
I remember playing Diablo, for example, playing hardcore on that. It's very stressful and it kind of raises the tension the entire time, but it also makes it enjoyable.
Yep, and you have just raised a very good point, my friend. Path of Exile. Path of Exile. For some reason, there's something relaxing about that damn game. Especially the second one. And I know me and you, Lucas, have like put quite a few hours into that damn game. But there's something relaxing about it. You know what I mean? It's like the loot mechanics and everything that goes along, and you're sharing with your guild and all this kind of crap. There's something nice about it, you know?
Yes, I put easily 60 hours in a friend's account because I didn't have the money at the time and I asked for a borrow account. And then I got the money, I bought it, and I put 150 hours in 1 week. Yes, it's a really lovely game.
It is. And it's also going back to it's just aesthetically pleasing as well.
Now, Tim, you mentioned your castle building game. One thing I've noticed about games like that is you get better, right? And now you're already skilled where you can go in and you can make a castle that doesn't look like absolute horseshit. But when you start off, it probably looks a little bad. But I think that's part of the replayability is just knowing the system, knowing that you can go in there and you can make something that looks good and actually performs well because you're just familiar with the system. You know the rules, you know how it works.
Yeah, no, but you are completely right. There's obviously Al's not here at the moment. Oh yeah, because he's got fired, the silly little wanker. Him, like he's put like what 10,000 hours into like City Skylines. There's your first city's probably going to look like crap. And the same example could be said about like Stronghold. Yeah, it's probably going to look like crap. But yeah, the more you build, the more you progress. And then you find that one person online who has like the most beautiful, perfect castle for some reason, and it's like, God damn it! You just see that one person, and it's like, really, like really, like I've been trying for like hours to try and make my thing look, somewhat aesthetically pleasing. You've just made it look like a bloody palace. Like, go burn.
He's probably using mods.
We talk about simulation games, we talk about nostalgia, we talk about the games we feel comfortable playing. What about this new kind of game that is cozy games? What do you think about those?
You're talking about like the Stardew Valley type ones?
For example, Stardew Valley is the cozy game by excellence. It's the top one.
I think Animal Crossing is like one of the top grossing games of all time. I
Yeah,
haven't played it, but apparently all it is just farming. And I mean, I have played Stardew Valley, and there's something just cathartic about working the land, clearing out the debris, getting the seeds, planting them, bringing them to the market. Something about just, yeah, the simple life, I guess.
exactly. And that's actually a really good point. Like one of my favorite games, like on multiple platforms, was fucking Harvest Moon. I loved
Mhm.
Harvest Moon. There was something really nice about making a farm and just doing it right. And it was like, this is relaxing, you know? Like it's really nice.
And you don't have to worry about enemies kicking down the door and kill you and take all your stuff. It's very relaxing. There's no consequences for failure. There's no punishments, and it's no surprises really. It's I think that's what it is. It's the predictability of it. You know what's going to happen, and you get exactly what you expect when you play a game like that.
Yes. Yes. There's no jump scares. There's no like, oh Christ, what the hell am I going to do now type thing. It's more like, oh, okay, well, I'll just produce more stuff in the morning. You know, it's quite nice. it's it's comfy, it's cozy, it's nice.
Now, on the flip side of that, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Challenge runs.
Mm.
For those who don't know, that's when you replay a game, but you set restrictions upon yourself to make the game more challenging and more fun. I think a good series for this is, for example, is the Final Fantasy series. For me, one of my top games of all time is Final Fantasy Tactics, which recently came
Oh,
out with the Valis Chronicles. Just such a gem, and everything about that game is just delightful. But what I love about it is with the replayability of it is you can do challenge runs. You can do it where like, okay, this one I'm going to use monsters only. I'm going to do one class. There's all these ridiculous challenges you can add to yourself just to see how good of a gamer you really are.
yeah. I you have just refreshed a memory that I had completely forgotten about. I used to have Final Fantasy Tactics on the Game Boy Advance, like the SP one, which had like the lights in, which was really useful when you're trying to like sneak playing games at night. But yeah, I used to do that all the time, and Final Fantasy Tactics was an amazing game. All I'm saying is just I'm agreeing with you completely because it was fantastic.
Going for another games that this is going to be for the people who is listening to this podcast. Keep an eye open because we are going to touch this more profound subject in one of the next episodes. But grinding games,
Hmm.
those games are really relaxing sometimes when you just find the materials you need, you build something, and you start producing some things out of it. So keep an eye open. I'm not going to deep in this topic because obviously it's going to be a full episode about it.
Hmm.
Yep, agreed. Agreed.
And this is kind of a random reason to revisit a game, but I was over at my sister's a couple months ago, and she had an emulator thing going, and I saw that they had "Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego" playing off the Nintendo. And I remember that game
Hmm.
was hard as hell as a kid, and I could never figure it out, and I didn't know any of the geography facts or whatever, and they got away every time. And I was like, "Not today." And I beat the shit out of Carmen Sandiego and her goons while I was there, and
I
that
love that,
was
mate.
very
I
cathartic.
love that. Just not today. Like, come on here, game. You know?
Somebody grew up and learned some geography.
Oh, mate, fair play. Well played. Well played.
I'm going to have to put my Ubisoft T-shirt for this one. I'm sorry, I know the main idea of everything is fuck Ubisoft, but
Fuck you, Ubisoft.
I, yes, but they used to make good games, and that's the sad part. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That's
Oh,
is the definition of a chill game with action. You just go with the boat, listening to the songs, the people in the cruise singing
the
sea
pirate,
songs.
like the chanties type thing.
Yes, and you should go around shooting the cannon and watching the beautiful, beautiful Central American placement they have.
Yeah, it is the sad part because they made what was almost a perfect like pirate simulator. Then they release a new one, and it's absolute dog shite. It's like, what are you doing? You had one there. Just do that again. Like, just do that. You know?
And it seems there is a free market for A's because they said that that was going to be the 4A game, like
Oh yeah, quadruple A game.
quadruple A game. No, that was maybe it was a good game then because it was close to the launching of Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Yeah, no, and all I can say to that is absolute bollocks. That game is crap, and it doesn't deserve to have any money whatsoever. They're just talking out their arse, and I'm going to reiterate: fuck Ubisoft. They haven't made cozy games for a long time.
I have a low blow for you, Tim. This is a curveball also. What about
Oh god.
Anno 1800? That's a cozy game. That's a city building game, and I'm pretty sure you played it.
Nope, I haven't.
It's basically a city building game, uh, orientated in the 1800s, and you have your own island, and you just build the island based on trading, and it's a really fun game, and it's a chill game.
I know where you're going with that. Completely fair play. Completely fair play. No, I've actually never played an Anno game at all. I played Tropico instead. That seemed more relaxing, you know? Probably more drugs, but it seemed more relaxing.
So one thing that is good and bad about replaying games is that the sense of achievement that you because you can go back and you can 100% and achieve everything there is to achieve. But does that take away some of the replayability in your guys' mind?
It really depends. Really depends on the game. Like, I'm going to use Forza like as an example. I've done everything that I need to do in Forza, but you know what? I like driving cars, so there is still some kind of like feeling behind it. I'm also at the same time I wasn't going for like the achievements to begin with. If I like doing something, I'll do it, you know, and that's more the feeling.
And I ask you a question, Ian. You always place a game for the objective of finishing, or just play a game because you want to do something, maybe a mechanic that is in that game that you find funny or fun? For example, I have an example: Middle Earth, Shadow of War, or either Shadow of yeah. Well, those games, I just enter to kill orcs. That's all I do now. I play the story mode. I completed it. I never touched again the story mode. I just enter, kill things, put music in the background, and that's it. I don't do anything else.
Simple things in life.
Yeah, right.
After all, a game is for gaming. Doesn't have to have an objective, something you need to beat at the end. It's just to go and have fun.
I think you're wholeheartedly right. Like Christ, and until like probably Xbox, probably around about 360 era, the achievements were becoming a thing, and like, oh, you have to do this to do that. It's like otherwise, you just play the game to play the game. Just have fun, enjoy, relax. Like you've got back from work or something like that, and you're like, I just want to fucking play a game. Job done. There.
And that's it. Just open the game, play it, and if you want to get the achievements at the end, no one got all the achievements in the first try. You just play the game, enjoy it, and then maybe you try to make the 100%, the platinum, like in PlayStation, for example.
Sure, sure.
I mean, I like seeing the little achievement thing pop up. Like it makes my brain happy.
It's the dopamine, isn't
Yep, that's a dopamine hit that I need, baby.
it?
But I think that we said a lot here about comfort gaming. I think that there's a lot of games that you can't come back to, and I think there's a lot of good reasons back to it.
I'm pretty sure Skyrim is worth mention. That's a beautiful modded game. You can mod and play again and again, and there is a mod that allows you to restart the game without the classic "Hey, you finally awake."
Yeah, right.
We did skip Skyrim, didn't we? Damn,
We did.
that's a big one. Well, I apologize for that.
But we mentioned Fallout New Vegas. That's plenty.
Comfort games are comfort games. Like, what can you do? Everybody has them. Anyone who says otherwise is probably lying. They're just one of those, like, guilty pleasures. It is what it is.
Well, that's going to do it this week from us here at the Grumpy Old Gamer podcast. If you like this episode, be sure to go ahead and click that like, share, and subscribe, and whatever buttons there are. I don't know what you're listening on. We're on everything. If you want to help us out and you want to check out the website, go to gog.fm. That's GOG.fm. You can check us out there, see what we're up to. And until then, we will see you all in 2 weeks. This is Ian. I am joined again by Lucas.
For you guys that are listening to us, to leave in the comment what game you find a shelter on. And we also are with Tim.
And if anyone is missing a certain Al, considering I got sacked last weekend anyway, so we'll see if he gets sacked and continues to get sacked this entirety.
The person responsible for sacking has been sacked. All right, that's going to do us for us here at the Grumpy Old Gamer podcast. We will see you in the next one.